He's talking about motto, and he said so. Motto is it's attracting positive energy, and when you do that, it's also by doing something you love. So it's a lot of things motto. So yeah, it's attracting positive energy, attracting good people, becoming more intuitive, do something that you love, and motto for him is unconditional love for people and for yourself, like having a pure heart. And if you have all those, which is really hard, all those, or at least maybe like some of it, right? You're gonna have happy money. Money is gonna flow to you very easily, naturally.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm Veronique.
And I'm Silvia.
Welcome to the High Vibes and the Mind podcast,
where multicultural moms connect. Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. Silvia here, and I'm with Veronique. How are you, Veronique?
I'm good. Hi everyone.
Yes, so today we're going to talk about a book that we've read and we wanted to discuss with you all, called Happy Money by Ken Honda. I read this book probably like 4 years ago, and then I decided to listen to it again because a lot of things we forget. And since we wanted to discuss the book, I'm like, okay, let me refresh my mind. And I'm glad I did, because it's such a good book. And I'm sure I forgot, from what I can see, a lot of what I read. So it's a book about how we should be handling money and dealing with money. And it's really eye-opening in so many ways. So what do you think, Veronique? What is like the first thing, one of the first things that really caught your attention in the book?
So first, thank you for suggesting that book, because it was really, really entertaining to read or listen. You can also listen to it. The first things I noticed in that book, he also talked about the law of attraction. So I was a bit surprised, because it's in the law of attraction, they always say, if you're positive, the money will come, etc. But he talks about that maybe like in the middle of the book. He doesn't even talk about that right away, but he still, talk about it a little bit. So I really like that. And the word that always come back is abundance, about money, not to be scared about money, always be happy to have abundance around you. And he explained how to have abundance, but you have good abundance. And when he says happy money, he's talking about having a good relationship with your money, not being scared of it. He's always talking about being scared and there's different group also. I don't know if you remember, there's different group of people with the money. So there's the people who don't care about money. The people who don't want to deal with it.
Yeah,
and the people obsessed with it. Yeah. Obsessed
super
with
cheap
it.
ones.
Yeah. So the first one for me was when he says, to experience abundance with money is to live in the present. That's something we always talk about, actually. So I really liked when he said that. The past is the past. The future hasn't happened yet. So, of course, you have to have goals. Of course, you have to have dreams. But it's really important to embrace and to enjoy your present life right now, what you're doing right now, because you might miss something very important if you're worried about what happened 2 days ago, or if you're worried what's going to happen in 3 weeks. So really appreciate your present life. And he says because of that, because you're appreciating what's going on right now in your life, abundance is going to come naturally to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and every time we're thinking about the future, it's always like something, I feel like most of the time, you're worried about something negative happening. Oh, what if this happened? What if that? Like, oh, wouldn't it be great if we all thought about, like, oh, what if I won the lottery? What if I found money on the streets? I don't know, like something more like that's more positive, but we're always worrying about the future, about something negative happening. And in the end, a lot of times, 99% of the things we're thinking are not going to happen. And we're just getting stressed out. And then we end up being like worried, like scared of money, of dealing with money or spending money. Then you get attached to it, you hold on to money, and nothing good
Yep.
comes from that, because it's just not, nobody's telling anyone to spend like a lunatic and just
Mhm.
waste all your money,
No.
but holding on to it like there's no tomorrow, it's not good either. You have to let it circulate.
Actually, yeah, it's talking about the flow of money. Sorry, and he's also saying, because you're talking about holding on to money. He says when you're saving money, you're saving money for the future. Don't save your money like for rainy day or something bad happen, or you have to save your money for something good. So he said when you're saving your money, think about, oh, I'm saving my money for my next vacation. I'm saving my money for my kids to do that. I'm saving my money not to buy a new pair of shoes, but something very like positive. Don't be in the mindset that, oh, you're saving your money for something bad, because
Yeah,
it's actually, you're not actually going to save that money. This money is going to actually disappear. That's what he says.
yeah,
It's like, oh yeah.
because it's
It's a
such a
good one.
different type of energy when you're saving money because you
Yeah.
think you're going to have a health issue, and you're saving money for that, and when you're just saving money for a nice vacation somewhere, right? It's just like a
Mm.
totally different vibration of
Yeah.
energy, so it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to, right?
Yeah. And what
Uh,
else? He also said
yeah.
actually about saying, which is another thing that we always talk about, but a lot of people also forget. We also forget, don't do it as often. Is about saying being grateful for the money,
Yes.
that not only money and everything. It's just a small and big things. Always being grateful. Be grateful for the money that comes in, and be grateful for the money that goes out.
Mm.
And the more you're grateful, because you're just letting it go with a very good energy. It's just like, okay, you go, I know you're gonna come back. You're not just being like, I don't want to give like this $5, but take it, like being mad about it. The more you
Mhm.
do that, uh, the less is gonna come to you, because the energy is clearly not the right energy. It's almost
Yeah.
like you want money to, you're so afraid of money that you push it away, in a way. So being thankful, say thank you when you receive, and when you give it to someone, or you have to pay a bill or whatever.
Yeah. I think that reminds me of, I was thinking about being in try not to be in a negative mindset about money. Um, because you're not going to have any. Try not to be scared. He said you're always going to be afraid that money is going to be missing. So you
Mm-hmm.
need to trust the flow of money, that the money is going, is coming, is going. There's one, even a chapter where he's talking about, are you gonna, you might, lose money before you make money.
Oh
Don't be
yeah,
afraid of this. You're gonna have to lose some money, but it's always gonna come back. And himself is not worried about not having money. He said money always like appear when he needs it, because
yeah.
he's not really obsessed with it.
Which it would be a good affirmation to say, right? Money comes to
Yeah.
me easily. I have more than enough. The minute money goes out, more money comes in. When you have that in your mind, like you can just relax, and it's gonna come back. Like it's going, but it's gonna come back. But if you start feeling scared and feeling like it's lacking, that you're not gonna have enough, it is the law of attraction playing its
Yeah.
part there as well. Law of
Yeah.
attraction is everywhere. So you can't really escape from it.
I like also when he said that you need to share your joy. When you're happy, you need to share your joy. You need to share your money. You need to share your time. It says that
Hmm.
when you share, you get more abundance, because it's a natural flow. When you share, you're
Yeah,
giving, you're receiving. You're giving, you're receiving. It's something very natural in the universe.
yeah,
So he said, don't be afraid to share your joy, and don't be afraid to share. Whatever you have, it
yeah.
will come back to you anyway, because people will notice that you're very sharing, and they will do that also for
To
you.
you, and
Yeah.
and it's funny, like how I'm listening. I'm actually reading this book about Padre Pio's life.
Hmm.
And yesterday, when I was reading, there was one part that he was talking about, like he wanted to build this big hospital in a mountain area there in Italy, and it was very hard to get the money, the funds to build the hospital.
Yeah.
And people who were there like try to, like he said, like, I want this hospital to be built here, and some people would say like, but it's hard, you're not going to get enough funds. He's like, funds will come.
Yeah.
Divine providence is going to take care of it. And
Mhm.
without him asking anyone, it's just like these people who heard from him because he became so popular in the United States and in Europe. They wealthy people who were also Catholics and who were interested in his what he was his visions and his miracles. They decided to go to Italy to his small town and help fund the hospital. So he started
Mhm.
getting money from all these wealthy, very wealthy people from America to help build the castle. I was going to say castle. Build a
It's like castle
castle
sometimes.
to build this hospital in this remote town in Italy without him having to ask for anyone. He just said like divine providence is gonna take care of it.
Mhm.
You're gonna be able to build it. It's gonna come. Money's gonna the funds are gonna show up, and they did
Uh-huh.
from different ways. So it's like that same idea. Just you can just rest and relax when you're confident enough that it's gonna come back. You're gonna receive it. So just say it frequently. I have more than enough,
Yeah.
and when money's going out, it's gonna come back in. But you have to believe it, and don't be like a hoarder and like keeping everything for yourself. Which
Yeah.
we have to do an episode about hoarders. I think we
Uh,
are right. We are thinking about like
yeah, I
having
think
someone in line.
for fall we're gonna have someone, yeah, just
Yeah.
gonna come and talk to us about getting rid
Yes.
of what we don't need. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's so important, and it feels so good when you do it. It
Oh
feels
yeah.
so good when you just get like those bags and bags of old clothes that you don't wear
It's,
anymore and get them out. Oh, I
it's
love
so
it.
so easy to you just to keep stuff and you forget about them in the in the corner of the room, and after you're like, there's like three shelves of stuff you don't even wear anymore, you don't need anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, something also important he says is like you have to care about people. You have to
Mm-hmm.
care because if you care, people will notice. And it was funny how he said that. He said if you care about people, people will notice, and the money will follow. But I think in this case, he was more talking about people who have businesses. You
Mm-hmm.
have to care about your clients. You have to care about the services you're giving, and if you really,
Employees.
your employees, stuff like that, and the people will notice that you're really nice, a nice person, and the money will follow. And then also something he does, sometimes he pays more than what he owes. I don't know if you
Oh,
remember
uh-huh.
that.
Yeah.
He was like people are not never expect to have more money. They always expect that somebody's going to not going to pay their bills, but they don't expect you to give more money than what you owe. And every time people are really surprised that he pays more than what he was supposed to do to pay. So
Happily surprised, I'm sure, right?
yeah,
Happily
and
surprised.
and for him that's happy money. That's money spent
Mm-hmm.
uh, very well.
So what is
Um,
happy money then? I love that you mentioned that. According to him, to the book, what would be happy money? So you have happy and unhappy money, right?
yeah. So are you gonna say it
You
or
can say it,
what I
yeah.
think?
Yeah.
Okay, so from what I remember, so happy money is when you spend your money with like a good heart. You're not angry or anything. You know why you're spending your money also, and your money is
Mhm.
going to something good. He said also sometimes to to check where you're spending money or why you're spending your money, and not to be scared when you spend your money. A lot of what he was saying is don't be scared or of spending your money because the money is going to come back,
Yeah.
and have a positive mindset about money, because people who have negative mindset about money, they don't have any.
Yeah.
So he was saying,
Yeah. Yeah. They're
yeah.
not best friends. They're not best friends. Money and people like that, they can be friends. It's just
Yeah.
clashing.
So yeah, so he's Japanese, so he's using a lot of Japanese terms, and he's talking about modo. And he said so modo is it's attracting positive energy, and when you do that, it's also by doing something you love.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of thing modo. So yeah, it's being so attracting positive energy, attracting good people, becoming more intuitive, do something that you love. And modo for him is unconditional love for people and for yourself, like having a pure heart. And
Mm-hmm.
if you have all those, which is really hard, if you have all those, or at least maybe like some of it, right? You're gonna have happy money. Money is going to flow to you very easily, naturally.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, definitely hard to have that the
Pure
purest
heart.
of hearts, not
Who not
having
sent?
any no saints here. Yeah. To be
No.
able to, like, some people are really hard to digest and to handle. So it's kind of tricky. But
Yeah.
yeah, like, yeah, he does talk about being surrounded by, like, people that have the same values or the same goals, like when you're, or like, wealthy people hang out with all, like, the wealthy people, it's like that circle, and it
Hmm.
just it keeps increasing. And
Yeah.
when you're just like, everybody's poor and everybody has a limited and scarcity mindset, that's like, everybody's going down as well in that way. It's like, the less you have, the less you're gonna have. It just continues to go that way, because a lot of it is in the mind,
Yeah.
and then you're surrounded by people who think the same way, and it just keeps on going down and down and down and down. And then on the
Yeah.
opposite, like you say, there's like just two ways, right? It's the two ends of a stick. And money is very neutral. Like, which side are you going to pick? You're going to be in the side of abundance, on the side of lack and scarcity. You pick the side, because money itself, it's not. Oh, and now I remember actually what I wanted to talk about. It was
I
about
knew it.
us saying what is fair. Like, oh, it's not fair. It's
Oh
unfair.
yeah.
Remember, like, he talks on the book. Or like,
Hmm.
sometimes you can feel you're paying for something. It's totally unfair. But hey, life is not supposed to be fair. It's
Hmm.
it's life, a lot of things you're gonna go through that you're gonna think it's unfair. And like he's saying, like, some very evil people who have a lot of money too. And it is the way. It's like, well, but they have, like, they're able to vibrate in the energy of money, and money is neutral, and it's gonna go where the money's getting the attention. So there's no, like, fair, unfair. It's very,
Hmm.
um really depends on your mindset. You
But
dictate it.
when you talk about mindset, he said it's really important because he's talking a lot about wealthy people. He said, you know, you can have a lot of money and be very miserable. You can have a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
money and not being happy because everything is in your mind. He said he was talking about very wealthy people who spend their whole time working, not taking care, not taking care, but not spending time with their family or their kids. And the
Hmm.
kids, they have everything handed to them. They're also wealthy, but they have no purpose at the end. They don't want to really work. They don't really have to work. They don't really have to do anything. They don't know what their gift is. They don't know what they can do for society. And
Hmm.
then he was talking, sometimes they end up in drugs or do whatever, to feel alive.
Yeah,
So having money is a good thing, but yeah, I think that's not this kind of example was like not happy money, was like sad
yeah.
money.
Because
You
they're
have
still
to,
worried about losing money as well. A lot of wealthy people worry about. It's like, you have a lot of money, but you're still worried about losing. So
mhm.
it doesn't mean happiness. People know that for sure, right? Like, money doesn't bring happiness, but it also, being without money doesn't bring happiness either. So that's it, right. Being
Yeah,
poor, doesn't mean you're gonna be super happy.
yeah. I mean,
So
he was
no,
talking about
no.
he took a trip to see those people in the village, and they were very happy. They didn't have any money, and they were like, what more do I need? I have a house, I have a job, I have my family." And he was really surprised. He was like, "Oh yeah, I have more than them, and they look more happy than me." But of course, he was saying, this is not my society. It's like
Oh yeah, but it's
different
not even
society.
society. It depends on the person, really. Like, my parents don't care about having too much money. They never did. My dad
Hmm.
is happy with like, just a house, like having food, and that's it. Like, doesn't need to be. You don't need to live in a tribe to have that mentality. Some people are happy with that, and that's good. And others are happy with having more, and that's good too. You know?
That's what he's saying. Yeah, he said you have to be happy with what you have, and the
Yeah,
rest, yeah, the rest will follow. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, So he's talking also because talking about your dad. He's talking about money, also blueprint, what your parents can give to you about
Hmm.
being scared about not having money. So I really like when he said, you've been raised a certain way, and your parents or grandparents were for maybe born in 1930 or whatever, depression time. So of course at that time, people were really afraid not to have a job. If you didn't have a job, it means that you were going to die because you couldn't afford anything. You're just going to not be able to eat or anything like that. So I like the way he said that because, of course, now, time has changed, and he said that that blueprint can be changed. It doesn't have to be new. You that was made decades ago, and you can erase it and start over. Start over in your mind and say, I don't have to be scared. I don't have to. There's enough abundance in the world for everybody. And if I stay positive, I have a positive mindset about money, the flow, it will flow to me naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, yeah. And that's actually something that when I meditate and I do my clairvoyant classes, we work on so much of that. Just like
mhm,
changing those contracts and the blueprint that's been going on from generation to generation.
yeah,
And some things you can bring from that you can keep, things that are important, good values, hardworking values, values of like, you can try, like, you you like, you don't have to give up. There are a lot of good things they went through. Our ancestors went through a lot, like, to for us even to
yeah,
be where we are. So there's
mhm,
no, you can't just criticize them like, oh, they didn't know how to, they're afraid of money. But there's also a reason for that, and they also did a lot of good things for us to be where we are now. So I always try, when I'm like doing my meditations, I try to, like, okay, I'll keep whatever that is very good that I'm getting from your influence, everything that is
mhm.
positive. But whatever that doesn't serve me anymore, like those limitations and that type of mentality that you can't go any further, that I don't need for myself. That we can skip that. This one can throw in the trash. But
Yeah,
the other things, yes.
he was talking a lot about taking risk in life. People are afraid to take risk,
Oh
and
yeah.
sometimes when you don't, you can miss, you know, your you say that your destiny because one thing important he was talking about was to find your gift, what you're good at in life, and he said some people go through life they never find their gift. And for him, he was an accountant. I thought that was funny. He was an accountant, and then he became a writer. And when he became a writer, that's when he found his gift, and that's when he
Mhm.
became very wealthy actually because he wrote like, did he say like 100 books? I think he wrote like 100 books. I think he
Yeah,
said
something like that. Yeah. So
he wrote a lot of
doing
books.
very well. Yeah.
So that's why, yeah. So he found his gift, and by doing something he loved, he became wealthy, like, and he had very happy money. So, um, yeah, it's very important to find your gift. Hopefully, we find
Hmm.
ours.
Yeah,
Sharing our with people,
I think we
sharing what
did.
we, yeah,
We
sharing our
love
gifts.
doing what we do. So
It's never too
yeah.
late.
And it's always like, in the end, it always comes from us. Like, if we want, like, do you want to live a better life? Do
Hmm.
you, so you're gonna make it happen. You're gonna change your ways and change your relationship with money, with change your thoughts, then you're gonna accomplish that. But if you're lazy, if you're just okay with where you are, then I mean, it's fine too. You just can't expect it's gonna like fall from the skies and
Hmm.
on your lap. It's not gonna happen. So they don't want to take risks,
Hmm.
and
No.
they stay that way, but it's their choice. So it just shows that in the end, it's really our own choices when it comes to money and when it comes to so many things. Like he was talking about people who stay in bad marriages because they are worried about the future, and it reminded me of someone I know
Mm.
that is like that as well, and
Yeah.
always like finding an excuse. No, but if I move away, if I divorce, how is my life going to be? Like, how I'm not gonna have any money, and they
Mm.
just continue on living a miserable life because they're afraid of taking that risk of
Yeah.
just because they're thinking about things that most likely won't happen. But yeah, it's in the end, it's up to you. It's an individual choice that you make
Hmm.
to make the
Yeah.
change or not. Right.
Exactly. So if you want to add anything, we can just little summary because
Yeah.
at the end, yeah, good.
Let's do first.
Because
Let's go for it. Yeah.
yeah, because at the
Yeah.
end he just talk about everything he said in the book, and he said there's
Mhm.
5 steps to get happy money. So the first one, so we talked about it, is to shift out the scarcity mindset. So get yourself in an abundance mindset. It's something that you can get easily by affirmation, meditation, Talk about that a lot. Forgive. So that's the first one. The second one is to forgive and heal your money wound. So that's the blueprint about, if your parents, if you were raised by parents that were already scared about spending money or what the future is going to be about, you can get rid of that, erase the blueprint, and reset yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 100%. That's
I did that. Because my mom is she likes to save her money and not spend too much. The third one is to discover your gift. So we just talk about that.
mm-hmm.
And if you discover your gift and you go to the flow of happy money. So I remember that for me, my gift when I was in my 20s was to really work for an airlines to be able to travel. I really wanted to do that. And that was the job I did. That was, I think, one of the happiest job I did in my life because I really wanted to do that. I was really happy when I was doing that job. And some days I was working 14 hours a day. I was doing double shift, like almost. I was working 7 days a week. And after you had like 4 days off, 3 days off, whatever. I was working the whole week, sometimes 2 shifts, go home. I was tired, but I was so happy because I love the job. I just love working with you were never working with the same people, which I love. I was working with different people, meeting a lot of different people, people who are traveling, could write a book on this. So many situations, crazy situations happened there. And that job for me was one of the most interesting. And at that time, I was making a lot of money. It was back in Europe, back in 2000s. And I was making a lot of money. And I was really, really happy with that job. So let me think about that. So discover your gift. Yeah. And the fourth one is he said that to trust life. So trust yourself and the ones around you. And he said, usually when you know that you can count on each other, you won't be afraid of the future. And this is when you can take risks. This is where you can start maybe a new career because you said, he gave that example. I don't know if you remember, but I have 50 friends. And if I ask each of them if I can stay with them 1 week, I can just leave for free for like a year or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that part when we talked about that?
Yeah.
He said I
Can
have
you
50
imagine?
friends. Can you imagine? He said at the end of the 50 weeks, I go back to the first one.
Yeah. Nobody's going to notice anything. Yeah. And you're
It's
just,
1 week. So if you have a good community, if you have good friends, you're not afraid of the future. You know they're going to take care of you.
you
That
know
was
you
funny.
are in good hands. Totally.
Yeah. So it's like get 50 friends minimum. Get 50 friends.
50. Okay.
Good friends. And the last one, I think one of the most important, and you talk about it, is gratitude. Being grateful for what you already have is very important. Positive energy of gratitude works from us and invite more money into our lives. That's what he says. And I totally believe it. Yeah, being grateful.
Yeah.
Sometimes we
Bringing
forget.
the happy flow of money.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
we recommend that book, people. It's Happy Money from
Honda.
Ken. Yeah,
Ken
Ken
Honda.
Honda, Honda. And Silvia read the book. I listened to the book. It's very short.
Audible.
Audible, yeah. Very short, very easy to, I think it took me 5 hours to listen to it. You can read
Yes.
it in a week. And a lot of great information in there. A lot of good information. Really recommend.
Yes. Very, I think, life-changing. Can at least help you get started
Yeah.
changing your mindset. So
Mhm.
totally recommend. So check it out if you guys want to listen to the book or read it. Do that and let us know what you think about it. You can leave a comment there, see if you enjoyed it. If you already read the book, also, if you could just let us know, that would be great. I think we should, it would be fun to start doing like a book club that we can talk, discuss about books. So if you want to have any input about it, do you believe it or no? You think it's all BS or you think it really, let us know. We had a good time reading it and discussing it. So I hope you enjoyed as well.
Did you read other book from him or not? Because he has so many.
No, I just
No?
read that one. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna look for the other ones. And
Yeah.
good idea.
hmm
New
Well, don't
ones.
forget to follow us on Instagram and to leave us a review on Apple Podcast. Really important for us. If you leave a
Yes,
review,
yes.
we'll be more visible and we can reach more people and share more content. So don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and Pinterest
Mhm.
also.
Yes, and on Pinterest.
Yeah.
All right, guys, this is it for today. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you for tuning in to High Vibes and a Mic. Until next time, keep learning, growing, and exploring. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.